Yo, we're here at the Northeast Comic Con in Boxboro, Massachusetts at the Regency Center.
Welcome. This is going to be a really fun comics and collectibles show, all ages, family friendly. We just saw a life-size 2-scale Chewbacca walk by. This is going to be perfect.
If you don't know who I am Ryan.
I'm Anna.
And we're ready to go nerd out right now.
It's time to conquer. So we're at the Northeast Comic Con and Collectibles Show, and what is a convention without an artist alley? We've got a whole room here. We've got the grand ballroom with some fantastic comic and pop culture art. We've got some kids art over here, and there's some amazing handmade items that just fit into this culture perfectly. Hey guys, we're here in Artist Alley. I'm here with Saeed. Just looking at his artwork, everything here, doing everything from classic. We've got some Venom, Hellboy. So how did you get into this kind of artwork?
Yeah, I started reading comic books as a kid, and from there I started making my own characters that I would want to see in them. So I started off doing a lot of original artwork. And
it seems like you're offering to do commissions. We've got some sketch cards. What do people most often ask for when asking for commission?
Deadpool or Darth Vader, which is always great. I like to do a little bit of a spin. Like one time someone asked me for Iron Man, so I drew a guy with an iron on his head, kind of being taken out by Tony Stark as if he was like some inhuman creation.
And is there a website or online store where people can find you?
Yeah, I have a website called Saeed Illustration. It's SAYYID illustration.com, and on there is a store. I have a print shop. I have a page for my sketches, original artwork, fan artwork. You can buy all the tarot cards. You can buy clothing, everything. Yeah.
So behind me is the main stage, which is like the big main event. And here they have the cosplay contest, they have bands that have been playing, and of course the guests of honor are also speaking up here. We just saw Xander, but I didn't get down here fast enough because we're eating lunch. But it's really cool, and they seem to have a nice crowd, and you can sit around and like eat your food because they have tables set up, so it's a nice little banquet situation. Okay, so I'm standing here with KO, correct?
Yes,
okay.
Cuddle Shana,
yes.
KO. I've been involved in the paranormal all my life,
right.
With generations of grandmothers and great-grandmothers, whether it's in Russia or Poland. That's my name, Cuddle Shana. And it was something that I thought everyone could do.
Right.
And found out that, no, it's just me and other people like me, and I often found myself in situations that people asked, they thought my hands felt warm, and that they felt like vibrating off of me.
Yes, I can feel that. I'm very susceptible to energy healing. I'm actually wearing carnelian right now, so I'm with you.
So I was able to take that early identification with my hands and the energy to be able to place on people to try to heal. So last weekend, for instance, I was walking with my daughter, and a little girl just came darting between the cars, as kids do. But there was a car coming at a high rate of speed, so I took a few steps in, grabbed the girl, threw her, and jumped out of the way.
Oh my God.
And I really felt like maybe the car hit my boot. I'm fine, I didn't limp. And my daughter was like speechless. She says, "How'd you move so fast? How did you know?" And I said,
"It's your superpower."
I said, yeah, that's what they say, right? But I honestly feel it's intuition. It's also, I could feel like a rush go by me because we're sensitive, you're sensitive. And I just said, holy mackerel, you got to do something, because if you don't, someone's going to get hurt.
I'm standing in the exhibitor hall right now, and it's full of all sorts of collector's items, nostalgic and retro stuff, which is my favorite, which I'm going to be going through and looking through. There's a toy bin next to me that I already saw launch up from the X-Men in. But mostly in a convention like this, when you come to comic book conventions, you're looking for comics, good deals on comics or graphic novels, or just old items that are nostalgic of value to you. I mean, we're nerds, so we're nerd shopping. You know, the thing is that you can go online and get this stuff, but it's not going to be all the rare stuff. This is where you want to find those rare gems.
Hey guys, we're here with Joe from I Think I've Created a Monster Studios. There's no Oz in Massachusetts. And we're taking a look at his work. So tell us what got you started in making these kinds of creations.
It was probably just a lot of creature double feature, those type of movies, watching as a kid and wanting to make that type of things myself. And at the time, there was no internet to get any sort of, supplies from, so paper mache was the easiest and cheapest thing for me to find. So I started building big monsters to make movies with like my parents' VHS camera, and over the years people started to ask to buy them, and I evolved into a smaller, pieces and more utilitarian type things, so they had more of a purpose, and that seemed to give a little more of a push to people to actually buy them.
I was definitely admiring the piece where you work off the Stormtrooper helmet, so tell us a little bit about doing that kind of work, starting with that kind of base.
Mostly I like to do the pieces that are actually sculptures, things like the Stormtrooper or the Batman. I start with like a vinyl blank head, with the Stormtrooper head or the Batman head, and just build off of it with, the monster features and things like that. Someone asked me to do one of the small Stormtrooper heads. They brought me the vinyl blank, and that just kind of got me going on things like that.
So it seems like you're working on several pieces at once, just kind of keep it going. And do you find that they're informing one another when you're coming up with the designs?
The designs just come naturally. It's really nothing that I actually think about ahead of time. I'll sit down and I'll make maybe 24 eyes one day, and then I'll do a bunch of teeth the next day, and then maybe the next day I'm in the basement just putting them together, whatever seems to fit. So there really isn't much thought of this is going to be a yellow monster with this kind of face. It's just whatever it turns out to be.
So one of the fun things about this con, and we'll see it at other cons, we have a kids area and gaming room. There's a bunch of old school consoles set up. We've got our classic Nintendo, Super Nintendo. I see some GameCubes going on. Just a fun spot to hang out and game. In the kids center, there's some crafts and other activities the kiddos can do, which just puts this at a really fun, family-friendly event.
I'm standing here with Gary, the owner and business owner of this convention.
I hate the word business.
Business owner. Okay, the superhero leader, the Justice League leader of I just gave you
Title?
I did. I gave you title. I actually gave you an upgrade. So there you go.
DC upgrade?
I did. Would you prefer to be Marvel?
No, AC.
What is your superpower?
Well, I am known as the king of pop culture, but my superpower is that I have the ability to get a parking space anywhere.
That is a good
I can
superpower.
project it in my head. I can imagine the spot, and when I get there, it's there.
We could have used that earlier because we were trying to park, and you have a lot of people here. How long have you been doing this show for?
Well, I've been producing the Collectibles Extravaganza since the 20th century. I know that's way before you were born, but back in 1985, I was doing that. I've been doing this since 1985, but I started actually in 1973. Well, I'm a producer. And the way, if you're born to be a producer, you produce.
What kind of productions do you do? Just everything?
I've produced over 1,000 concerts. I've produced over 300 of these type of events. I produce videos, and right now I'm working on a musical for Broadway.
Oh, really? Right now? You can't tell us the title, can you?
Yes, of course I can. It's called Beasties, a sci-fi rock opera.
That sounds like our kind of show.
So our motto here is guaranteed not boring and free parking. Was it guaranteed not boring, or do you need your money back?
No, this was great. We've said this a million times today while we've been shooting this video, but everyone here has been so fantastically nice, from vendors to staff members, and that is a rarity that it is both those things, because generally it's either one or the other.
Well, that's very important here. Is we're a family of vendors and customers.
And you're a family convention.
We are. We try and make this something that if I brought my kids to, I would feel really good about. And realistically, I never grew up, so I'm always
None of us grew up, you know?
So
That's why we're all here, right? Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Stay groovy, kids. Aloha.
Here at Northeast Comic Con, the show floor does close at 6, including the Exhibitors Hall and Artist Alley. However, you always want to hang around for the after party. Tonight they have several live bands. There's some karaoke later with Nicholas Brendan, which sounds amazing. Like, who doesn't want to sing a little Rocket Man with Xander from Buffy? Am I right? That's what I would have chosen. And then also they have a show coming up here. It's a comedy show with a Robin Williams impersonator, and we walked by him a couple of times. He was always talking with people, but he looks fantastic. And the band is warming up. Sound check, 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 check.
Thank you. Friend like me. Never had a friend like me. Thank you. I've seen so many freaks in one place. This is incredible.
So you're talking to my brother?
Actually, I was insulting everybody.
All right, so we are wrapping up here at Northeast Comic Con, and we have talked to the owner, we've talked to a lot of the vendors here, we've talked to a lot of the artists and guests, and this is a really chill convention. There's a lot of cons you go to where you just feel like you can't even get your space or your time of mind to enjoy the convention, but this is like not too small, but it's not too big, and it's perfect. It's the perfect size for you to enjoy the con life.
It's not overwhelming. It's really accessible. There's free parking, which is always a plus, and you don't really have to fight for the parking.
I am excited for what the other conventions they do will be like. That was our favorite part of the convention for you?
I really enjoyed the Artist Alley here. I also think the flow of traffic in the different rooms was well set up. We do attend a lot of conventions, and it's always nice to be able to travel through the area. Everything was accessible, and like we said, not overwhelming. Everyone was really kind. Everyone that we talked to on the vendor side, artist side, were willing to share their information, because a lot of times when you are an artist or a vendor in this situation, you are a fan as well.
Anyway, you can find Superhero Life on Facebook and Twitter at the Superhero Life channel and TV. And you can find me on Twitter at Ryan Pagella and on Instagram at Ryan.Pagella.
Oh, and I'm on Twitter and Instagram as Annabelle5304.
Superhero Punch. You got to punch. And yeah.